everybody, I wanted to share a haul with you all today. It's kind of a mishmash of things. First I want to say that I purchased a watercolor lot D-stash from Aya on a Facebook group, and Aya sent me this card. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. She sent me this card as part of the D-stash, and thank you so much. It's a really neat looking card how you put it together. And I've been trying my hand at watercoloring ever since I got back from like a stamp affair. I took the class with Betsy Veldman. Everybody took the class that was there, I hope, and learned some things. So I wasn't going to do this, but then when I saw her D-stash lot, I was like, okay, that's a reasonable price for everything. She had a bunch of the Daniel Smith watercolor paints in her lot, and it didn't come in this box. I purchased this box from Tuesday Morning some time ago, and I just put them in here because I didn't have anything in it. So I put all of the she had 75 tubes of paint. These are the 5mm tubes, and then she had some of the 15mm tubes, so as part of her lot, as well as she had these 3 brushes, which I already have brushes, but I don't have a 10 and a 12 size. This is an 8. I do already have an 8 in the silver brush, which I like because they have a shorter handle. So I will just keep that in my stash for now, in case I decide to use them later. And then she also had 3 palettes in the D-stash, and her palettes are, I think this is a 48 palette. This was not full, but she did have some empty pans in here, which I will probably use if I collect more colors. And you saw there was no more pans in here of color because I took them out, and I'll show you what I did just now with them last night. And then she also had this palette, which I think this is the 24 palette. Again, it's empty now. And then she had one of these smaller palettes here, which is a 12. So that was what was in her D-stash lot. So I got all the tubes of paint and the pans. There were half pans that were full of paint. So she didn't use the pans, and rather than keep them all in those separate palettes, I transferred them over to a larger DIY palette. This is my empty pencil case from Caran d'Ache, or Caran d'Ache, I think that's how you pronounce it. And they're Swiss colored pencils, oil-based, I believe. And I used some of my magnetic sheets that I have for my dies. I'm trying to pull one off, so I just used one of these. I cut it down in strips to the size of a half palette, so it was able to I was able to use just one, and it has a sticky back because these are for photographs, but I use them for my dies. So I have a bulk box of those. So here's the last strip that I actually did not use, and the sticky is off of it. So what I did was I peeled the whole sticky strip off, or the paper off, and then I just stuck one of the pans down to size and cut it with my Tim Holtz precision tonic scissors to get the right size. This is the little tiny what do you call it, artist palette that we got with our kits for Stamp Affair, and it does have a magnetic sheet down in the bottom, which of course I'll never be able to take out now. I think it was Sherry who took mine out for me, or Jill. One of the two were sitting on either side of me when I was taking the class, and I could not get, for the life of me, couldn't get it. Oh, look, I got it. So we used this top lid as the mixing tray, or you can use the bottom. Actually, used both. We just took the pans out, and you were to stick this to the bottom of your pans. It's the same concept, right? So because this is metal, they stick, and you can move them all around if you want. So that is the palette we got from the class. I'm just going to leave that out now. It's like a little Altoid tin, but not. So I used the same principle because I had this and I was looking at it. I was like, this is perfect. So I wanted them all together. I don't plan on traveling with my watercolors. If I do, I have these smaller palettes that Aya had in her D-stash, so I'm going to keep those. And she also had the color swatches already done. Now, every Daniel Smith has these paper cards. They're actually bigger sheets, and I think she cut them down, and they have paint dots, actual paint dots on them, so you can do your color swatching with those. And this is all 75 of the colors. I don't think she swatched these to the white because they're on white paper, so of course you're not going to see it. And she wrote all the colors in. So these are all the colors that I have. And of course, because you can mix colors, you can get, you know, whatever you might want. So I think the only one that was not in my Stamp Affair kit, that was in my Stamp Affair kit that wasn't in her set of tubes, was the Lamp Black. I think that's the only one. So I now have refills for those trays, or doubles of those trays. So the Pablos that I purchased have 2 trays in them. And this top tray, I took the plastic insert out that actually holds the pencils in place. And so there's this top tray that sits on the top. And it is held up by the lip of the container. So it's actually constructed so it doesn't actually sit down on that second layer container down in there. And you'll see what it looks like in a second. So what I did was put this here so that I could just carry this around, or it would be all together. And it fits in the lid. So now you see that second tray in there with all the watercolor paints. Now this, it makes, my husband was saying, is that all 75? I'm like, yes. So these are the half pans that were in Aya's kit, or not kit, but her D-stash, plus my paper tray ink half pan. So I put the name of the paper tray ink colors that Betsy gave us in our kit on the side of my half pans, and then there's the magnet that's stuck to the bottom with the adhesive that just comes off that magnet strip. So I can, if I ever want to travel with any colors, I can put them in a smaller travel palette, or if I'm staying at home to paint, to watercolor, I will use this. And so you can see they're all held in place if I turn them like this, because of the magnet. And I have not reordered them, by the way. This is not the order that I would normally keep them in. This is the order of the palette as Aya shipped it to me. So there's some reds and browns and purples up in the first 2 rows. There's the yellows, greens, and blues, and then blue and purple. There's some, I think this is green here, and then these are blacks and whites and grays. So she had some interesting colors in here. I'm going to keep them together. And I have watercolor cake half pans as well from Prima. I'm thinking about putting them in here possibly as well, just to keep it all together. And because Prima paints come in these little tiny tins, then all of my watercolors will be together. So if I ever want to mix and match, I can do that. But I think this tin is fabulous, and I already had it. It was just sitting in my storage room in my closet, and so it just snaps down in the bottom there. This one sits on top, and it doesn't rest. It does not actually touch the half pans at all because it's resting above that on the lip of the tin. And then there's my swatches. I'll be doing more swatching, and I also have this extra, of course, magnet sheet here to do more half pans if I need to. But that's it for now. I think that's what I wanted to show you for this lot. Sorry, guys. Just put that up. I was going to take that out because it's got the sticky removed. So let me put that off to the side and share you the rest of my haul. Oh, I wanted to share this card that I made. This is actually a birthday card going out to a friend. And it's my watercolored poppy card that I had done 2 actually, and 2 different poppy stamps on different watercolor card. And this is Fluid 100 hot press paper. The result on this paper was a better result than the let's see, what is it called? Master's Touch Watercolor cold press paper that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I picked up 2 pads of it. I don't like it, so I'm not going to use it for watercoloring. I'll probably just use it to cut down for something else. And so this is the poppy that I watercolored 2 nights ago. And I also went back and used my colored pencils from Holbein to fill in some areas to get a little more detail. But for the most part, I think I'm getting a little bit better each time I do it. So this uses Paper Tray ink supplies. All of this is from Paper Tray ink, obviously except for the watercolors and the colored pencils. But the dies that are used for this rectangle here and the inner rectangle are in a set. The 4U is from a set from Paper Tray ink. The paper is from Paper Tray ink, except for the watercolor paper. And then this stamp set on the inside, Happy Birthday, Here's to Many More, that's also from Paper Tray ink. So that is my card. And this pattern is just the reverse of this one from Paper Tray. So that's my card that I made. More D-stashes. I got this kit from a D-stash group that I belong to. And, you know, guys, if you're interested in joining some of these, you just need to search for D-stash on Facebook. Those groups will show up for you too, and you can choose to join whichever ones you prefer. So I know folks have asked me before, but just search for D-stash. There's a ton of crafting D-stash groups. So, you know, I don't want to tell you which one to join because they're all different that I found. So this is the person I purchased from, craftydoodlechick.com. And I purchased her Hero Arts August kit. These are the stamps in the kit. And it's all coffee themed, probably because it's the fall coming. And then I wanted, this is the die I wanted. It's a coffee shop. There's a coffee cup in the middle, and these are the coordinating dies for the stamp set here. And then this is, I think this is embossing powder and glue. And then there's some paper in here that seems to have been, it's a pattern on here, and it looks like it was made, maybe it's coffee stained paper, I don't know. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's not just blobs of coffee, it actually has a pattern in it. So there's that. I purchased a D-stash from Bridget, who is Shoe Princess 1 on YouTube. She had this die here. It's a present that folds over as the front. And then you also have this little rectangle here separately. So it's a present you can layer. And then there's this one here, which is, I don't know what they're called. Chalkboard Birthday. So there's a stamp set, and then there's also this bag to coordinate with it. So it's a 3D bag that has little holes here. She sent this one along too. I don't remember if this was, I don't think this was in the D-stash, but I don't remember. This is a fall stamp from Simon Says Stamp. Nutty Over You, which is really funny because it's, you know, hopefully fall is coming soon and with cooler weather. This one's a Christmas stamp, wishing you a bright, inside Christmas cards. So you stamp this inside. And then this Paper Tray ink, Big Hugs die, stamp and die collection. Now, there's the die set. I don't believe I have this, so I'm going to check my stash again, but I really don't believe that I have this, so I'm adding that to my collection. And then from a separate person on eBay, I purchased these 2 sets. This is the Rustic Wreath, which I don't believe I have, the stamp and the die. And they stored them on these sheets. I need to put these in a pocket. And then the Silver White Winters, which I don't believe I have either. I may have it. I'm not sure. The stamp and die for those. So that's what I got from eBay. And then I purchased 2 books because I've been doing some felting. This one is called Fa La 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 Felt, and I purchased these from Amazon. This one's from Amando Carastillo. So it's all Christmas felt projects. This is what got me. I was like, ooh, that's really cute. And I can do this. And then this one, which is 'Tis the Season to Be Felty. So, and that's by Kathy Sheldon with Amanda Carastillo. So it's, you know, the same author. This one is also in this book as well. So they have a lot of cute projects in here, and I will hopefully try some out for Christmas. And I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.